Hello and welcome back to my channel. So since the last video we have had two fairly dramatic races in MotoGP. So I am going to just have a look at what has come out of the last double header. So we've had Portugal and Jerez. First up, we'll start with the extremely dramatic weekend in Portugal. If you haven't seen it, then honestly, go and watch it. Moto2 was just an absolute mess, to say the least. But we will just crack on and get down to who is in my top 5 for this week, if I can get my notes up. So first up is going to be a pretty obvious one. It is Joe Roberts' first Moto2 victory. So this was, and I hadn't realised how history-making it really was, this was completely history-making. He is the first American to win a race in 32 years. That is completely mind-blowing, especially if you, which I always do when I see like stats like this, I think about some of the people that are in the paddock. So you have some of the Moto3 riders, and even one of the, and even Zonta in Moto2, that is literally double his age. He was not even a consideration when the last American won a race, and that is a completely mad stat. So it is an amazing achievement for Joe to get this. It is a massive confidence boost. Obviously, it came under such weird circumstances after the red flag, the crash for Dixon as well. But at the end of the day, you've got to be in it to win it. And he was in it, he stayed on, and he took the win. So massive props to Joe. I was absolutely over the moon for him because I think this was a bit of the confidence boost that he needed after a couple of difficult years, and even after some of the Aprilia stuff, which at some point I will get onto because I have opinions on that. I have a lot of opinions on that, but we'll move on to that another day. So next up has to be two of the best MotoGP comebacks of the weekend, if not, in my opinion, of like ever. Obviously, I am a little bit biased for one of them because he's one of my favourite riders. If you can guess which one it is, I have nothing to give you, I have nothing at all to give you, but you get the props, you get a thumbs up. Anyway, so first up is Alex Rins' comeback from 23rd on the grid to 4th, which was just sensational. His qualifying, it was so weird, his qualifying, to how badly he did. It was such an unexpected thing to not see him advance out of Q1, but to be able to then just come back on Sunday and just get your head down and get straight into it, getting to 4th on the grid was spectacular. The other one has to be Pecco Bagnaia. After that crash and the shoulder injury, obviously not taking part in qualifying, he started 25th on the grid. Then to finish 8th whilst battling with that injury, I don't know how he did it. It was completely unbelievable. And I have to take my hat off to him because battling through the pain barrier of that, well done, Pecco. You were magnificent. The third on my list has to be the Moto2 of the Moto3 front row. So if you don't know this already, I have quite the soft spot for Lorenzo Fellon. I think he is such a sweet boy. He's such a doll. And he has the most amazing accent you will ever hear. At some point, I would love someone to interview him just so everyone can hear it because it's fantastic. But anyway, it was quite an unexpected front row to have Lorenzo Fellon and Mario Aji on there. But I thought it was absolutely amazing to showcase some people who shine in those weird conditions. And I think it was a little bit of a confidence boost that Lorenzo needed because he has had quite a rough couple of years in a Moto3. Obviously, he didn't score any points in his rookie year in Moto3, but he's had 2 point scoring finishes now. And it was really unfortunate that he couldn't carry that on into Jerez. He had that crash and dislocated his shoulder and didn't take part in any more of the weekend after. But it was really nice to see him be able to get on the front row and to be able to celebrate that with his team. And even for Mario Aji, like he's already had one front row so far this year, and which is absolutely spectacular for a rookie. But to be able to get that second front row as well, it's just that little bit of a confidence boost. And it was unexpected, but it was amazing to see them both there. It was a shame in the end that they didn't get the results that they wanted, but they have shown that they are able to be at the front. Obviously, it's kind of over almost like a one-lap pace. It's not over race distance, and it does show them where they need to like really work on it, or where they need to get their elbows out a bit more in races. And I think that both of them will, going into the rest of the season, because it is a long season, that I think that they will be able to take those learnings from that weekend and be able to move forward, to be able to get the positions, get the results that they both deserve and they both obviously can achieve. So fourth on my list comes from a slightly bad, sad moment if you are fans of these two, and I am a fan of the pair of them. But I loved the little hug between Joan and Jack after their crash, because it was tough. It was tough for both of them. They've got history, they've come together, they've had words, they've had the whole Jack shaking Joan's head, which I love Jack to pieces, but I didn't really agree with. I know a lot of people memed it, whatever, but I feel like just don't put your hands on each other, lads. Don't put your hands on each other, please. Personal space. 6 feet, please. Social distancing, But I love the fact that despite Joan having a little sarcastic clap at him, which, I mean, let's face it, who doesn't do that like sarcastic thing when something like that happens? He went to check on him after. They had a little hug. Like, you just put it behind you. And I really like that. I think it shows the growth of the pair of them, especially Jack, because of the history that they have. So that was one of my top moments of the weekend. And last but not least for Portugal is quite a really quick one, but that all of the riders, of the Moto2 riders that crashed, were able to walk away and didn't suffer huge injuries. Obviously, Aaron Canet did break his wrist and I think one of his fingers. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he did. But they were all managed to walk away. I mean, Zonta's bike was on fire. There was bikes coming through the gravel. There was people jumping out the way. I don't know how Sam Lowes was not more hurt, but I'm just glad that they all walked away from that, because that was really, really scary to see. And just, I hate stuff like that. It actually makes my stomach turn when you see people in the gravel and bikes going left, right and centre. It reminds me of Le Mans 2016, I think it was, Moto3, when they all just kind of started going down on the oil. I think it was oil that day. It's so, so scary to see, watching as a spectator, as a fan, either at the track or on TV, because it's that helpless feeling of knowing that these people are in danger and there's nothing that can be done. Like, the marshals can't do anything, race direction can't do anything, because you can't just say a red flag. The bike stuff don't disappear off track. It's not like a video game. They're still there. This stuff still happens. And yeah, I'm just so glad that they all walked away from that, because it could have been really, really nasty. Anyway, moving on to Jerez. So, starting off with someone who has already been in my Portuguese one. First up is Pecco's pole and victory. So still battle against that injury from Portugal in his crash. The fact that he managed to get pole position and then just kind of streak away in the race to get victory, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, I was on the edge of my seat hoping that Fabio wasn't going to catch him, but it was a very good day, really, for me, for people that I liked. I already had a little cry at Moto 3. I was like over the moon in Moto 2, and just watching Pecco get that when he's had quite a difficult start to the season was just spectacular. I loved every moment of it. I have nothing more to say, but I'm going to get a mosh again because I'm a wet wipe. So second, I have Marco Bezzecchi's amazing weekend there. So he's really stamping his name on the best rookie, the Rookie of the Year trophy accolade already. From starting P8, so qualifying P8, ahead of lots of seasoned riders, and then finishing P7 in the race was just incredible. He is, I think, currently quite a way ahead of a lot of them for Rookie of the Year. It is amazing to be able to not only outperform your teammate on the same bike, but be able to pull these performances out ahead of other Ducati riders in Jerez on a MotoGP bike. It's just phenomenal, and I really hope that he can continue this going into the rest of the year. So yes, Marco's incredible weekend in Jerez is definitely high on my list. Not that this is in any particular order, but hey-ho. Anyway, moving on. So third on my list is one that made me cry because I'm soft and I love him to pieces. But with Ethan Guevara's pole position and win, that move for the victory, just hook it up to my veins. It was absolutely perfect. I screamed. It was early in the morning. I screamed. I cried. Had a little dance. It was just sensational. There's nothing else that I can say about that. And the fact that it's come under his own steam. He's been building to it. Obviously, he had that win in Austin where it was just the red flagged incident. He had the mechanical, and then they red flagged it after the massive crash with Öncü and a few riders. And then obviously he was declared winner. But some of the backlash that he got for the way that he reacted in the box, I stand by, and I've said it since that day, he did not deserve that. He was 17 years old. Of course he's going to be angry about the way that his first victory was seemingly being taken off him. And I mean, we've seen it with MotoGP riders. Fabio, Miguel have both gone in and thrown. Dovi did it one year, and they've all gone in, thrown what appears to be a tantrum, and they're all 20s riders who have been there quite a lot longer than Ethan. So to do it in your rookie year, I always thought, and the way that people reacted, I always thought was just completely out of order. But anyway. So he's been building to this. He's obviously had the penalties in other races, so he wasn't quite able to get to the front and be able to fight with some of them to get that win. But I'm so, so glad that he managed to do it in front of his home crowd. It was wonderful. It was just a fantastic weekend for them, and for me, it was a fantastic weekend for me. So next up is Ayagura's maiden podium. So this is one that's definitely been coming for a long time, and with all the rumours circulating at the minute about what's happening with Taka and if it's going to be or if it's going to be Somkiat, or who is going to replace Taka, if Taka's going to be replaced, he's really thrown his hat securely into the ring by getting he's got these podiums, he's had now his win. He's really in contention to get a MotoGP seat. And yeah, please put him on a MotoGP bike. I would love to see that. I would feel bad for Taka if they did, but his performances and the way that he's kind of developed since he came up from Moto 3 into Moto 2, he's just fantastic. And I can't really say much else other than it was such a perfect ride from him to get that victory. There was not a foot wrong. It was sensational. Chef's kiss. Last but not least, and I had to put this one on, Aaron Canette's absolutely heroic second place. Still mad as hell that I have no idea what the bow tie and the glasses are about, but I didn't even think we were going to see the bow tie and the glasses this weekend. But from lying in a gravel trap with a broken wrist 7 days ago to being on a podium in second place. So I don't know about you, I've broken my wrists 3 times. Long story short, I'm clumsy. But when I did that, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't hold a pencil, I couldn't move. I had obviously my wrist in a cast, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't make a fist without it absolutely killing me in absolute agony. To be able to get on the bike and then battle for 23 laps and get on the podium, second place. Superhuman. Absolutely unbelievable. Like, my mind just boggles. Don't know how they do it. I don't know how Aaron did it. Honestly, chapeau. Absolutely mental. Massive congratulations to him. Massive congratulations to the Pons team for that, because they've obviously given him the support and didn't push him to be on the bike. They just went with it. If he wanted to ride, they would support him, they would help him, they would do what they want. But absolutely insane. Utterly insane. I can't get over it. But anyway, that is my top moments from the last 2 race weekends. Don't forget to subscribe to my videos and give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying them. And drop a comment down below with what your top moments were from the last 2 weekends. Also, if you've got any video suggestions, I do take suggestions if you have anything that you would love me to talk about, or yeah, anything along those lines. But for now, bye!